Hello guys and welcome back to Nate Sports Talk. Today we're going to be looking into the Premier League fixtures list for mainly match week 1 and then a couple other things that I want to look at that I find kind of interesting as well. Before we get into that though, I do want to give a big shout out to all you guys. All the love you guys have been giving me lately is very appreciated. I'm very thankful for you guys for liking my videos, commenting. I love being able to read the comments and respond to you guys. It makes my day. I asked you guys to get me to 30 subscribers. Not only did we get to 30, we're almost at 40 now. It might not seem like a big number to some people, but for me that means a lot. You have to start somewhere, and I'm glad I get to start somewhere with you guys. Now that I've said that, thank you again. Thank you guys so much, and let's get into the topic today. For match week 1, we have the first game of the season is Burnley versus City. I know we're all very excited for the Premier League, but this is a snooze fest. There is nothing to be excited about with this game. Let's be honest. Maybe some nostalgia from seeing Company with City again, even though it's played at Turf more. Maybe that brings some excitement. Maybe because it's the first game of this Premier League season. That will get us going, but outside of that, Burnley have nothing to offer that will challenge City in the slightest bit. It's going to be 5-0. I think would be a good result for Burnley, honestly. It is not going to be a good one. Next we have Sheffield United versus Crystal Palace. These games are huge. This game is huge for these two clubs. Sheffield United, they have to get wins against clubs like Crystal Palace, who finished mid-table, lower mid-table, but eventually will be safe. But these are the teams that they have to beat at home. They are at home. It is at Bramall Lane. If they can win this game, it gets them off to a really good start in their relegation battle to stay safe for next season. And I definitely think it's possible. Crystal Palace aren't too good to where it's impossible for them to win, and the fact that they are home gives them a big chance to come out with the dub, at least a draw minimum. Crystal Palace, they could use this win as well, as they're going to want to kick off their campaign with Roy Hodgson again back at the helm. It will be probably another mid-table finish, but for Crystal Palace, you can't lose to teams like Sheffield United. Sheffield United, although they are a Premier League team, they're not Premier League quality. And as we know, Crystal Palace are Premier League quality. They've been there for 10 years, either 10 or going on 11, something like that. Even if they lose Wilfried Zaha, they still have enough quality to go out there and beat Sheffield United. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. This one will be one of the more exciting games. If it wasn't for the next fixture that I'm going to be telling you guys about, this would be the one to watch for me. Newcastle, they're a team that are wanting to establish themselves in the Premier League and show that they are one of the big boys now. That is no longer a top 6, but a top 7. And to do that, they have to beat teams like Aston Villa. They are home, so it should be easier for them to get the win. But of course, it will be a hard game. Unai Emery's men are very good, and I'll get into it in a second about how I think that they could win as well. But these are the games that Newcastle are going to want to win if they want to establish themselves as one of the big clubs in the Premier League and make it a top 7 instead of a top 6. Aston Villa, this game's huge for them as well. Aston Villa they're a sleeping giant, and they're slowly starting to wake up with Unai Emery, who's one of the better managers in the world right now. He's not that elite tier with the Peps, the Guardiolas, the Ancelottis, but if you can't get one of those guys, you would be more than happy with the Unai Emery. And for Aston Villa to get him in through the door and build on something that getting European spots already in the first season is a big stepping stone. If they want to take that next step into the Europa League or even challenge for the Champions League, beating Newcastle or getting a draw is one of those matches to establish themselves as one of the big boys. Excuse me. Next up, my personal game of the week. Chelsea versus Liverpool. It is at Stamford Bridge, as Liverpool we are still expanding our stadium. It looks like crap. If you've seen the video of the construction worker who got fired, you know that it's garbage. You can't even see anything from there, but that's another topic for another day. Chelsea if they do get Moises Caicedo, I think that's a really good signing, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat Liverpool. Chelsea are a team that struggled massively last season, and with them losing even more players, and even if they gain Moises Caicedo, I don't think that's enough to replace the likes of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz if he leaves. I'm struggling to think of some other exits. Christian Pulisic, guys like those. One guy isn't going to be good enough to replace the players who were on a 12th place finish last season. Like I said, I think that they struggle again if you saw my way too early Premier League predictions. And I think that this game will be I don't think it'll be close, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it is a 0-0 draw, because last 2 years that's what we've seen from Chelsea-Liverpool games. Unfortunately for Mudryk, there will be no 50-year-old James Milner for him to dust and get people's hopes up that he's the next Eden Hazard. For Liverpool, this shows that, are we going to be one of the big boys next season? Are we going to be able to compete for top 4 again? Because unfortunately, that looks like the standard that we're going to be at without FSG as our owners. We don't want to spend money, but thank God we got Conor Bradley. Anyway, if you don't know who he is, there's a reason. There's a reason. Like I said, we have to win this game. This is the new era of the Klopp regime. If we can win this game, this is a statement to the other clubs that we are back, and this is a new Klopp era. Next, we have Arsenal versus Forest. I see a lot of Arsenal fans excited about this game, but do they not realize that they've lost twice? I'm pretty confident in saying that Forest did the double on them last season. They at least won the recent game where they lost 3-1. So this is not an easy game. Even if they get Declan Rice, if they even bring in a couple more signings, Nottingham Forest aren't an easy team to beat. I think they drew City last season too. So they're not an easy team. They either beat or drew Liverpool as well. They're not easy. They're going to provide a tough challenge, and if Arsenal aren't ready, even though it's at home, if Arsenal aren't ready and prepared for it, they could easily lose. But if Arsenal want to push for their Premier League title again this season, this is a game that they have to win. It's at home, like I said. The Emirates will be rocking. They have to get this done to push for the Premier League again. For Forest, they're going to hope to get out of relegation. And to make a statement, beating Arsenal away would be huge to the other teams in the league. Like, oh, Nottingham Forest mean business. They're going to be a team that aren't going to be easy to beat and could win. Honestly, I think I didn't have them too highly rated. I think that there's a lot of other teams that are better than them, but I wouldn't deem out the realm of possibility for them to get something against Arsenal either. Next up, Bournemouth versus West Ham. Not much to say here. I think Gary O'Neill's men beats West Ham. If you watch my way too early Premier League predictions video, I highly rate Gary O'Neill. I think he's a fantastic manager. He's up and coming. He's going to be one of the next big things before we know it. He did unbelievable with Bournemouth last season. I think he does it again. I think he beats West Ham at home. It's at the Vitality Stadium, and it's a good stadium for Bournemouth to be at. They like to play there. They like to win their games there. They are a good home team. And with West Ham without Declan Rice, it's going to be tough for them to win that game. Will they even prioritize the Premier League table, like they did last season, where they just focused on the Conference League instead of the Premier League? Next up, we have Fulham versus Everton. I think Fulham easily walks away with the game against Everton. It's at Craven Cottage. Fulham need this win if they're going to try and go for European spots again. Mitrovic hopefully won't have an 8-game ban again this season. And these are the kind of games that they have to win. If they are to beat Everton, or if they are to compete for the Conference League spots, then they have to beat Everton. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's all they have to do. It should be a simple one, but you never know in the Premier League. For Everton, this is a game that they're going to struggle. They are going to struggle. It's away. If they lose, and I like Sean Dyche a lot, but this is a game where it has written all over them that they aren't going to win, and it's going to be another season dwelling back down at the bottom of the table, possibly being relegated this season. They haven't done anything in the market so far, or any big rumors that would say otherwise. Next, we have Brentford versus Spurs. Nothing really here to talk about. Brentford, they're not going to push for anything because they have no Ivan Toney. They're probably going to lose David Raya to Spurs. Spurs aren't going to have Harry Kane, more than likely. So there's not really much here. Both teams are probably going to be dangling around mid-table. And honestly, if they win or lose, I don't think this will affect their seasons too much. Spurs are going to want to win, especially with their new manager. But this game, I don't think, has an effect on either team, honestly. United versus Wolves. This is a game that United fans are going to want to win. But I think this is more important for Wolves. Are Wolves going to step up and say that they are the team who's going to compete for Europa League spots or European spots like they did a couple seasons ago? Or are they going to go back to the team they were last season and hang around lower mid-table and struggle with relegation for a little bit? So this game's massive for them. Yes, it's away at Old Trafford. There's no shame in losing at Old Trafford, but it's the way they lose. If they lose bad and they completely get outplayed, they have nothing going forward, they're a shambles in the back, then that's when the problems start coming out and fans start getting worried, and that's when their season could just go downhill. But for United, this is a game that they have to win if they are to try and keep top four again. Arsenal are going to be coming back. Chelsea are going to be trying to push for top four again. I don't think they will, but they're going to want to have that mindset of pushing for top four. Liverpool are going to be pushing for top four again. Aston Villa are going to be in the mix again. Brighton are going to be in the mix. So there's a lot of teams that are going to be in the mix for those Champions League spots, and United have to win these games. Ten Hag was good at home, but his away form will have to improve if they are to compete for anything this season. Next, we have, just wanted to point out Spurs' schedule. I thought this was hilarious. In April and late May, they have a 4-game stretch of Newcastle, City, Arsenal, Liverpool. My God, if that's not a tough run of form, or a tough run of games, I don't know what is. This could make or break their season. Excuse me. These aren't easy teams, obviously. On name alone, they're not easy, but they probably won't be easy this season either. They're going to, especially without Harry Kane. And we all know how important April and May are to a team's season. Those are where the make and break points of, are you going to get Europe or are you going to hang around mid-table? And I don't see them getting any points, honestly. I just thought I had to bring that up because, oh my God, that's tough. But as this is a Liverpool channel, of course I had to talk about my lovely Reds. Unfortunately, I have the wrong red shirt on, but, it is what it is. Liverpool's first 5 games. Chelsea away, dub, easy. Bournemouth home, dub, easy again. It won't be 9-0, but 5-0. I think Salah gets a nice little cheeky hat trick. Nunez goes and puts in 2. Newcastle away, I think that's a draw. And there's no shame in drawing at Newcastle. They are a tough team. They will be good this season again. And they will be looking to compete in top 4 as well. Aston Villa home will be a hard game, but I think we can come out with the win again. They are a tough team, but they're not Liverpool tough yet. And I don't see, no matter what signings they make, being good enough to beat us this season. At home especially. And then Wolves away, I think that's easy. Even if Wolves do revert into having some semblance of form from previous seasons, they won't be good enough, especially if they lose Ruben Neves. however you pronounce it, don't know. But I think an easy 14 points, 11 points. Wait, hold on. Is my math right? 36, 9, 12. Wow, I'm struggling here. All right, 11, 12 points, something like that is minimum. 3 wins, 2 draws. What is it? 11 points minimum. Sorry, American education, my God. 11 points minimum is what we need from this. But I think we do get a solid 13. If you guys have, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And again, thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have given me with the views, comments, shares, subscribes. I love them all. I appreciate them. You guys mean a lot to me, and I'm glad to have you guys in the NST family. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys take care. Bye-bye.